Sergeant, I'm going to take you back and ask you about certain portions of the video that were just played.
Tell their house, your dad's house, your grandma's house, what you share.
When I line up on South Street by church, when I blood by itself, and when I line up on South Street by church, straight thug and they big drink.
Your Honor, may I ask the witness a question to establish for the record why it is and what it is that I'm replaying?
You can try, sure.
Sergeant Gaither, during the portion of the interview that was just played, were portions of what Mr. Zachary said, and specifically after he was asked about what started the beef between YSL and If Gang, and why it was that they were trying to shoot at Woody. Were you able to hear here today on this screen what it was that Mr. Zachary said Woody had done as it related to the Metropolitan, the studio on Metropolitan?
Yes.
And in that video, did Mr. Zachary say?
Objection, Your Honor. This is just repeating what we've already heard. If the jurors can't hear it, the jurors know to ask the court if they can rehear it.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the court's instructions and I'd ask to be allowed to do what the court said that it would allow me to do.
The court didn't say anything. We're listening to a recording, then we're listening again with Ms. Love repeating what the recording allegedly says. I'm not conceding she's saying it right. And asking the witness whether she heard it, and she says yes. I'm objecting.
Your Honor, I believe that this is the same mode of interrogation Mr. Steele used with one of the previous witnesses while listening to Mr. Kenneth Copeland's video. The state objected, it was overruled, and I asked to be allowed to ask this witness about certain portions of this interview. I have not done this consistently.
I don't actually recall the state objecting on this basis and that being overruled.
I objected that he was not asking a question. He was reading portions of the transcript, and the court said, I think he's going to ask him, is that what he said?
Okay, well, that is not the objection that has now been made. And based on that objection, I have to sustain it.
Okay. And Your Honor, the objection being cumulative, or what is being sustained so that I don't?
What was the last thing y'all said? I mean, I know you've said best evidence previously, and did you just say cumulative?
It's also cumulative, Your Honor.
Because we just heard it.
We've heard it twice, and now
Your Honor,
Ms. Love is trying to
when
cash it.
Detective Gaither is off, or when Sergeant Gaither is off the stand, if there is a portion of this interview that the jurors are unable to decipher, and they are not able to ask the person sitting there in the room, it's too late to have her come back and answer the questions. So unless the court or unless the defense is okay with the court inquiring whether the jury understands what's being said at a certain point, I'd ask to be allowed to ask her what she heard in the room at the time that the interview was held.
Objection, but if we're going to have speaking objections, I have one I'd like to say as well. That I believe is on behalf of the jury, as Ms. Love seems to be claiming she is speaking on behalf of. This is a waste of time hearing the same thing 3 times.
Well, it's not a waste of time if it can't be deciphered, but
A, if it can't be deciphered, then I don't think we need to hear it 3 times. It's indecipherable. But B, Ms. Love just asked Investigator Gaither, and she said she understood it. It was clear. So I don't know why we're rehashing it.
it's not really whether Miss Sergeant Gaither can understand it or not. I mean, the evidence is being presented so that the jury can absorb it. And I don't know whether the jury can understand what's being said on it or not. Can y'all understand what's being said? Some of them can, some of them can't. Go ahead, Miss Love.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna probably Drake Thug and Carvet by itself.
At the timestamp that I stopped at, 3:04:45, did Mr. Zachary say, I'm in the car with Dre, Thug is in the Corvette?
Yes, he said Thug is in a gray Corvette.
In the gray Corvette.
Yes.
And was this still talking about January 6th?
Yes, at Club Crucial.
All right.
And wood out in line up on South Street by the church. Went on Bloody Day on the ride past. When he rode past, he started shooting up.
And did he just say, and that's when Woody and them all lined up on the side of the street by the church, waiting on Bloody J. And when Bloody J rode past, that's when they started shooting.
Yes,
Is there a church near Club Crucial?
it is.
Continue.
It's going to that night, basically.
The shooting, I was just like, they shot it, it didn't happen.
So Nuts murder basically was all really a month. Really, we was a month behind.
The shit was already going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It didn't like just happen. It was stuff was already going on in November, December, and it just kind of bled over to the actual murder in January.
Okay. Advancing now to 3:06:32.
He tried to kill me, he didn't do it. They just kept pushing it up for that Wood deal, so he wanted Wood.
That's his right.
Yeah, Wood and Kill just alike. Both of them, they gonna try to put it off on somebody. Say like, I don't like you. But I know we had altercation and we shooting at each other.
Right.
Then somebody on my side get shot, but you didn't do it.
I didn't think that it was them just to get more people again.
Yeah. Like,
Well, what's Montauk and Kale's beef?
who Montauk?
Antonio.
Tree?
Who shot?
All right. Did you understand, Mr. Zachary, at any point to say, my side gets shooting, their side get the shooting? Start talking about that?
I don't think I understood a lot of what this little portion was.
Okay.
It's a little distorted.
Okay. Did you hear Mr. Zachary say, after asking what Moontoon and Kel's beef were, did you hear Mr. Zachary say trivia?
Trivia, yes.